Wagwan people, it's a B here, man. And I see a fair amount of commentary, some videos in particular, doing the rounds regarding Torie Bowie. Of course, she was discovered dead at home on Wednesday of this week. And it would appear that rather than the media and the public looking at her life and her contribution, we seem more interested in trying to dig up any amount of drudgery that can be found on this young lady. Now, Torie Bowie was a successful Black American athlete. She was more than just a statistic, but a successful athlete. A three-time Olympic medalist, and at the top of that pile was her gold medal that she won by anchoring the United States 4x100 meters team to victory at the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro. She also finished at the same Olympics right behind Elaine Thompson-Herah in the 100 meters final and copped a silver medal. And at the same time, she also won a bronze medal at the same Olympic Games, where she finished third in the 200 meters. Now, here is an Olympian. This is one of the highest accolade that any average person can attain in their life. And not only was she an Olympian, she was a gold, a silver, and bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. In addition to that, she was a world champion at the 100 meters in the 2017 World Championships in London, England, where she also won gold as part of the United States 4x100 meters team that won the sprint relay at those World Championships. In any language, this is or was a successful young woman, albeit she lived 32 years. And my thing is, could we not find something, better information to publish about this young lady? Information that would provide motivation for other young Black Americans, Black people anywhere in the world, in particular here in the United States. Now, she was born Frentorish, that was her name. She was christened Frentorish Bowie in Sand Hill in Mississippi on August 27th of 1990. Now, one would figure 1990, things would have improved, but the fact is that Mississippi is one of the most racist, if not the most racist state in the United States of America. You don't believe me? Go research it. In fact, I would encourage you to find John Howard Griffin's book called Black Like Me, which was published in 1961, where he spoke about his experiences where he colored his skin and went into the southern United States to experience, to get a first-hand experience of what it was like to live as a Black person and a Black man in the southern part of the United States in this period prior to the passing of the Civil Rights Act, 1961. If again you want more, go and read Isabel Wilkerson's The Warmth of Other Suns. This was published in 2010 as she talked about the experience of American blacks in the southern part of the United States who had to endure the kind of experiences to find a space here in America for themselves. You know, believe me further, go and read her other publication called Cast 2020 that literally suggested that if you're black, you're condemned to that station. This is the kind of situation that Torie Bowie overcame, and she overcame that by using the talents that she was gifted. She started out. She went to high school, Pisgah High School in Mississippi. Her mother literally abandoned her at birth. She was given up for adoption, and luckily her grandmother took her in. She and her, I think it's a slightly older sister, if I'm not mistaken, and basically raised them in Pisgah. She went to Pisgah High School. She um, took to track and field, and she specialized primarily in the long jump and to a lesser extent in the 100 meters, and leveraged that ability to attend the University of Southern Mississippi on an athletic scholarship. She represented the Southern Miss Golden Eagles and Lady Eagles in the NCAA division competitions, where she did both sprints and jumps. And of course, in her freshman year, she came second in that conference, um, and reached the NCAA Women's Indoor Track and Field final championships, where she jumped in the qualifying um, events. Now, she leveraged that and was literally called for trials, that he called to the United States trials, and um, came to international prominence. I think she finished in the frame at the trials, and um, competed for the United States at the World Championships um, in 2015. I think that those World Championships would have been in Doha. And of course, by 2016, after she had decided to, in the same 2015 year, to start a focus on the sprints. And so she entered for the United States in the 100 meters. I remember her when she was just coming on the scene. Remember the U.S. trials when she made the selection for the United States team, and you could see the pride, because where she coming from, she not supposed to reach where she eventually reached, right? She overcame significant odds as a black woman, a black person in the first instance, and a woman in the second instance. And in her 32 years, she provided an example for other youngsters to emulate. Now, illness is not something that anybody selects and bring down upon themselves. You know, whatever that is, it is just part of the travails that you have to go through in life. And so some of us are lucky. You survive your entire life, have no major issues. But these things happen. Be that as it may, the circumstances of her passing still up in the air. But in my opinion, it is not important. It's not what is important is not how she died, but how she lived, what she did with the little time that she was given. The fact that she passed on, and there are smokes and mirrors and questions surrounding that, is on all of us. It's on the people who made up our own circles. It's on the people in track and field who, when she was doing well, we were elated. We celebrated her. But the life that happens between track and field, it is clear that her support circle was not sufficiently formed, or that whatever support mechanisms were there, they failed her. Could we not take that kind of approach to the discussion? Because that's what we're here for. Shakespeare had a saying that the good that men does is often interred with their bones. But any little blemish that they have, and I am just dressing that up, any blemish that they have in their lives, that will live on for them and survive beyond the grave. And that's what we're doing here. We're looking for something that we can point a finger on and tarnish the reputation, tarnish her contribution instead of celebrating. Let us not dig a deeper hole to try to bury her. She's gone. She can't speak for herself. But in the time that she was here, she left an indelible mark. She was an Olympian, not just an ordinary Olympian. She was an Olympic gold medalist. She was part of a championship relay team. She was a silver medalist at the Olympic Games and a double gold medal winner. Mind you, let me point out, she was also a bronze medalist at the same Olympic Games. The 2016 Olympic Games were her personal mecca. That was where she more than announced herself to the world and wrote herself into the history books. And no amount of dirt that people want to try to dig up can cover that, right? Let us celebrate the fact that she was a double gold medalist at the World Championships in 2017. Let us celebrate her memory and let us use the fact that she didn't allow herself to be sucked in by the circumstances of her birth and the place that she was born. She rose way above that and literally triumphed over the circumstances that governs racism in this country and in particular in our home state of Mississippi. Let us celebrate that. Let us look at that and wave it as a flag, an example for young black girls, young black men who you were gifted with a talent that you can use it and raise yourself up. Did the system fail her? It is my view that it did. But we don't need to continue to fail her. And it is important that the people that she was working with, the people who she, because I understand she had a modeling career, etc., and the support mechanism within United States athletics, that failed miserably, right? And that's what we need to look at. Let us channel the conversation in this direction, eh? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. We're here to look out for each other. You know, Torie lived a life that the time that she was given. It is my view on death is that when your number is called, that's it. It don't matter where you are. If you're in your bed, if you're up on the road, you're driving in your car, you're flying in an aircraft, whatever it is. When your time is up, that's it. And it don't matter where you are, that's how you're gonna go. So let's not worry about how she went. Let's focus on how she lived and how she used the opportunities that were presented to her to elevate herself. Let us look at the champion that she was and celebrate that. I mean, I will leave it right. So I think enough has been said. If you like the video, I'm gonna ask you for subscribe to the channel and hit the like button and share this, please. May I beg you to share this. Share this over and over so we can crowd out the negative that is out there. Because too often, what we are interested in is not the good that people do, but the blemishes that they may have, and we want to use that. And no matter how much good they do, we paste that in front of everybody else because that's that's the message you want. And for each of us who are circulating those negatives, what you do, especially if you're a person of color, you only serve to throw more dirt on your own race and your origin. Share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and give me your feedback in the comment section, please. I mean, I beg you. share this video, put it out there, okay? And let us change the narrative, because we have that control. Thank you very much.